Welcome everyone. TikTok is a huge misinformation problem right now, especially when it comes to Five Nights at Freddy's. That's why I decided to make a series debunking all the false statements with explanations. The first one is that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is Scott Colton's last project. If you're on TikTok or even Twitter, you might have seen all the edits with the "Thank you Scott" audio saying how it's his last project and he's not coming back. This is just not true. He's obviously working behind the scenes on each game. He just doesn't make them themselves. He's also gonna be directing the two next movies. He's actually rewriting the script for the second movie based on the criticism to improve it. So this is just not true. Another myth is that Scott said that the movie won't hold back on violence. Scott is very silent on social media. He only uses Reddit but for the few years he literally said nothing. The only times he spoke is when he fired Lady Fishy and to thank people for seeing the movie and to say that he watched it multiple times and his experience with seeing the movie in theaters. He's very silent on social media. He never really says anything. It came from a satire tweet. I saw it myself, but people just read the headline and believed it. Unfortunately, I cannot find the tweet anymore. I would show you, but I can't find it anymore. People actually fought with me about that. Even after the movie came out and it wasn't violent at all, they still said it was real. Even when we got the movie as a proof that it wasn't violent, people still fought me, which I found kind of funny. Another big one is, I find it funny, 4-hour director's cut. People saw a tweet from an account that looks like discussing films and it looks real, but if you look closely, it's disbussing films. It's a joke, it's satire, it's not real. Another one I saw people believe, which I find wild, is that there's gonna be 7 more movies and that it's confirmed. For now we only have a trilogy confirmed. Matthew Lillard signed a deal for 3 movies. The TikTok that said there's gonna be 7 more was a joke, it was a troll. People in the comment just thought it was real and they believed that for some reason. It was pretty clear it was satire, but yeah. Another reason they wouldn't announce 7 more movies is because they have no guarantee that the 2 next ones are gonna do well. They can't take that risk. This one I believe why people might believe it's true. So these Funko Pops concepts are circulating on TikTok and they're actually fan-made. Problem is that the TikToks say they're official and well, so well-made people just think that's true. But they're actually made by a Twitter user, Minter, I hope I pronounced it correctly. And they have a lot of really good stuff. I recommend checking their profile out. They make Funko Pop concepts. And now for the biggest one, which is the most annoying to me, is the ways how the kids died. It's like a trend right now on TikTok, those videos with Chica died screaming, Foxy died running away, and Freddy died hiding, and Bonnie died fighting. Some even say that he dislocated William's jaw, and every time someone asks for a source, they say it was in the books. So now instead of, yo bro, what's your source? It came to me in the dream, we got, it was in the Fnaf books. It was not. Someone just made up this headcanon and it became a trend and everybody thinks it's canon. They've never seen a source, but they believe it. Even when I told them that it's not true, they asked me for a source, which is hilarious to me. So no, this wasn't in the books, this wasn't in the games. This is just someone's headcanon that went viral and people think it's real. Also, these kids were lured into a separate room. They probably didn't even have a chance to run, hide, scream, fight back. They were killed by surprise. William lured them in a Spring Bunny costume and they trusted him, so they wouldn't be able to do all those things. Except for screaming, maybe. This is actually what inspired me to make this a series because I couldn't take it anymore. We have one more thing to debunk related to the child's deaths, and this is what William did to them. To me, it's kinda weird what they're describing, because why would you want to describe it like that? Those were small children, but okay, let's ignore that for the sake of everything. They say that Susie had her arms cut off and she was stabbed in the mouth. Jeremy had his face cut off. Gabriel's been stabbed like 28 times. I don't know what they made up, but something about stabbing. And Fritz had his legs cut off and has been slashed multiple times. People are saying that this was in the books. It wasn't, and I just don't know why they feel the need to describe children's deaths so graphically. The only time this happens was in the Tales from the Pizzaplex, which isn't as mainstream as the games themselves are. Scott wants to keep the games PG-13 for a reason, so he would never do that. He wouldn't describe the children dying like this. Yeah, people are pulling up books, websites, but they never have actual proof where it happened. They just ask you for a source that it didn't happen, which is odd. So the conclusion is, don't believe everything you see on TikTok and online, especially on TikTok. Take everything with a grain of salt until you check it yourself. Because Five Nights at Freddy's TikTok became an echo chamber with people just spreading misinformation and saying that it's canon, which is not. It's frustrating, but what can you do? Not everybody will listen. So check the sources and watch out. Also, I'm planning on making a video analyzing the movie, mostly Easter eggs and just things I like. So stay tuned. Bye!